Petty Officer Ryan Ledbetter stepped through the rising waters outside the secure perimeter of the NAVSEC-GRU Detachment headquarters on Fort Madison. Rain pummeled him and ran off his raincoat in sheets. His watch cap was soaked through.
This is bullshit. We should be following evac procedures.
He shone his flashlight through the murky dark, and it bounced off the chain-link fence which surrounded the compound.
There's nothing out here. Rounds are done.
He snapped off his flashlight and headed for the gates. He'd be damned if he'd wade through rounds the rest of his 12-hour shift. The commander should have let them leave hours ago.
Wait!
Seaman Bradley Conlon, his watch partner, stood still.
Do you hear that?
Newbies always took this watch shit too seriously.
There's nothing there, Conlon. Come on, let's go back inside.
His flashlight flickered out. He shook it. The light wavered.
Damn it.
A tremendous roar filled his ears. Like a tornado, a shrieking blast of sound. Instinctually, he covered them to protect himself from the noise. His whole body shook with the force of it. Conlon was yelling something at him. He pointed at the sky. Ledbetter looked up. Overhead, less than 20 feet above them, a huge ball of fire streaked by. The object lost altitude rapidly and headed toward the swollen Mississippi, which edged the base. It slammed into the shallows, sending flames and chunks of debris everywhere. Within minutes, the fire was doused by the floodwaters and rain. Ledbetter pressed the button on his walkie-talkie.
This is Petty Officer Ledbetter. I think a plane crashed. We need emergency vehicles on site ASAP.
He ran toward the rubble even before he was done speaking.
Come on, Conlon, there might be survivors.
Conlon held back.
That was no plane.
Ledbetter turned and slowed his run through the mushy, flooded grass.
What do you mean? It was just a big ball. There weren't any wings, no tail.
Conlon splashed down the slope to him.
Let's go check it out.
Through the sheet-like rain, they slipped and slid their way down the riverbank. Visibility was practically nil. Ledbetter shook his flashlight once more. It popped on. He played the white light across the grassy shoreline, now under a foot of water and rising. The beam caught a jagged edge of something sticking up from the ground.
Over here.
Ledbetter headed for the strange thing only a few yards away. The water came up over his chukka boots, wetting his wool socks. He paid it no mind. The object in the shallow water grabbed his attention. A blob, about 8 feet across and cracked open like a nut, sat in front of him. Smoke rose from the center, and the whole thing hissed in the rain and damp. He reached out to touch one jagged edge. His fingers hit something spongy and slimy, like snot.
What the hell?
He yanked back his hand and wiped it on his dungarees. A chill ran through him. Conlon stood right behind him.
What is it?
He reached out to touch it too, but Ledbetter stopped him.
Don't. I don't know what the hell that thing is, but it ain't no plane and it ain't no meteor.
Ledbetter picked up his radio once more and pushed the talk button.
This is Ledbetter again. I think you need to get someone down here.